Hello, my friend. I don't know what brought you here today, but I know this much. It wasn't an accident. There's something you need to hear, and I'm not going to wait for the perfect moment to tell you, because in the deepest part of your spirit, you already know. God is proud of you. Not because you always got it right. Not because you smiled through the pressure or held your breath through the pain. Not even because you stayed faithful when faith felt like a myth. God is proud of you because you didn't stop becoming. When everything around you said, just quit, you kept going. That is holy, that is rare. Maybe no one ever said this to you when you were young, when you did the right thing while trembling inside. Maybe no one noticed when you gave away your last bit of strength and still didn't get what you needed. Maybe no one saw you choose love when revenge would have been louder. But heaven saw. The Lord sees, not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. And that's what I want you to rest in today. Nothing good you've done has gone unseen. Every quiet act of courage, every silent sacrifice, every moment you chose grace instead of bitterness, it counted. It still counts. You've been breaking generational patterns, protecting peace in places where anger was all you knew. You've made healing decisions with no applause, no guarantees. And every time you did, you laid down something eternal. You see, God doesn't need your performance. He delights in your truth. You're not being honored because you suffered well. You're being honored because you showed up real, raw, unmasked. You didn't abandon your light just to fit into rooms that mistook your humility for weakness. You felt every blow and still chose love. Not the fleeting feeling, but the fierce, stubborn choice. That kind of love, that's rare, that's sacred. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. You've walked through fire and didn't let it steal your softness. You saw cruelty and still didn't pass it forward. That's strength no pulpit can preach. That's power no book can teach. And you are carrying that kind of power. Whether you see it yet or not, your life has become a testimony. You've taught God more about faith than many ever will, not because your path was easy, but because your faith was forged in confusion, shaped in silence, tested in the in-between. Still, you didn't quit. You kept walking. You kept believing when belief had no evidence. And now, something shifts. This isn't just another season. This is the moment when your truth starts to echo louder than your trials. Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes with the morning. Psalm 30 verse 5. You earned this, in quiet, in discipline, in decisions that looked like nonsense to others, but made perfect sense to your soul. Now, the light you've been tending in secret starts to break through. That peace you used to fight for, it starts coming with less resistance. People feel it. Even if they can't name it, they sense something divine in your presence. That's no accident. That's the fruit of a soul that didn't quit. And maybe you're still adjusting. Maybe joy feels unfamiliar, like a language you forgot while surviving. That's okay. It's coming back. Not because you prayed with perfect words, not because you manifested it right, but because, even when you doubted yourself, God didn't. For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Romans 11:29. He knew exactly what he was doing when he placed that spirit inside you, gave you a voice that carries, a heart that stretches wide, eyes that see past the surface. You are what healing looks like in motion. You are what integrity looks like in a world obsessed with image. You are a soul that remembers its source, even when the world forgets. And the truth is, you don't have to earn what's coming next. You already did, quietly, courageously, faithfully, and heaven has not forgotten. Listen, this journey wasn't meant to be easy. Sacred transformations never are. You've walked through nights where sleep felt impossible. You've faced mornings where hope was a fight. There were moments where every instinct screamed to lash out, to give up, but you didn't. You let go. You surrendered. That version of you, the one who stayed quiet, stayed present, stayed kind, that's the one heaven honors. Not the version you polished for the world, but the real one. The one who wrestled with angels and shadows alike. The one who stayed when everything said, run. The one who bent but never broke. You don't have to earn your seat at the table anymore. You built it through every heartbreak you survived. Every no you turned into growth. Every silent choice to keep walking when quitting would have made more sense. And now God, who counted every tear you never let fall, is placing honor in your hands. This isn't charity, it's justice. So let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. And maybe this moment feels foreign. Maybe you're not used to the ease, to doors opening without struggle, to people seeing your worth before they see your wounds. But let me be clear, this is your season, not just for surviving, but thriving, not just for breathing, but expanding. Because there's a difference between making it through and living in abundance. You've carried endurance like a second skin, but now you're about to remember how to receive. This shift didn't happen by accident. It came because your identity finally caught up with your calling. Because you stopped dimming your light just to make others comfortable in their shadows. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Make no mistake, your presence has power. You don't just illuminate someone's darkness. You prove that a heart can break and still choose to heal without bitterness. You carry the kind of grace that doesn't parade, but convicts. The kind of truth that doesn't shout, but shakes the room. Now, the universe is responding, not just in signs, but in shifts, real doors, real peace, relationships that nourish instead of deplete, paths that once felt blocked now clearing. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You didn't cut corners to get here. You climbed every inch of this mountain, and you don't owe anyone an explanation for that climb. Do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. Hebrews 10:35. Let them guess, let them wonder. God saw what they didn't. Every silent prayer, every quiet act of restraint, every time you chose not to go back to the version of you that begged for scraps when you were born to lead the feast. You've grown in ways no platform can measure, no filter can capture, and now the world feels different, not because it changed, but because you did. Your discernment is sharper. You don't chase what drains you. You don't negotiate with chaos just because it comes in pretty packaging. You've learned what peace really feels like. That's why you no longer settle for anything less. This is what maturity looks like. Not flashy, not loud, just the quiet refusal to shrink, the daily courage to choose alignment over approval, the unshakable knowing that your value doesn't rise and fall based on applause. And the reward, it's not just coming, it's already here. It's in how your body feels safer to live in. It's in the way your spirit feels less scattered. It's in how you no longer need to be understood to feel complete. Because the real prize? It's who you became while waiting. This isn't just a new chapter, it's a whole new book. Different rules, different rhythm, and the version of you who once needed to be chosen doesn't run this story anymore. The version of you who confused loyalty with self-abandonment, she's gone. The old has gone, the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17.